Welcome to the inaugural Virtual Fitness and Recreation Industry Technology Summit. Thanks to the incredible support of our sponsors and our partners, this is a gift to the fitness industry, a gift to help you all improve the effectiveness and efficiencies of your business through technology. We know that between now and December, the Virtual Technology Summit has 7 webinars that will all educate, inspire, and help your business grow. The 2021 Virtual Fitness and Recreation Technology Summit is the only summit in Australia that's 100% free. And we can deliver this thanks to our amazing speakers and our panels like we have today, because the speakers have agreed to give their presentations that they would have delivered face-to-face and be paid for. They're doing that for free and allowing us to record the session, and we're so grateful to them. The partners, the sponsors, and our supporters, without them, we couldn't have delivered a face-to-face event, let alone this now virtual event. So we're very grateful to them. You can grab the recordings of all of the webinars as part of the Virtual Fitness and Recreation Technology Summit at the website fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au/get access. Plus, if you use the code ACTIVE, you save $100. So all of these webinar replays are available for only $65. That's 15 webinars you get access to. Plus, as an added bonus, you can save money to come to the face-to-face event, which is on February the 22nd and 23rd next year in Sydney. Again, that website, fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au/get access. Let's enjoy today's webinar for the Virtual Fitness and Recreation Technology Summit. And I'm really excited about today because we've got a phenomenal panel of owners, club owners, not consultants, not people that are going to tell you how to do things, people who actually do things in their own markets and with their own businesses, turning them virtual. So I'm going to introduce the panel momentarily. And first, I would like to welcome and acknowledge one of our gold partners, XBody Australia. And what an amazing piece of new technology this is for clubs and indeed the Australian consumer. So I'd like to welcome Matt George. Matt, the director of XBody Australia. G'day.
G'day, JT. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about XBody.
Absolutely. Look, XBody is the producer of the world's leading electrical muscle stimulation devices, and we have over 5,000 EMS studios across 86 countries, delivering 35,000 sessions daily. So look, I'm excited to be at the start line of this growth industry here in Australia and to be partnering with the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. Today, I'd like to explain just a little bit about how EMS works and then share with you XBody's 2 main business models. For those of you out there who don't know, EMS stands for electrical muscle stimulation, and it has been used by medical and health professionals for decades, mostly as localized EMS. And in more recent years, it has been adapted to whole body EMS, where we put on a suit and we stimulate up to 12 muscle groups at the same time while working through different movements to build functional muscle. Essentially, the way it works is we stimulate the motor neurons, which sends a signal to the muscles to make them contract. We are training the neural system and we are delivering treatment and training at the same time. So traditional strength training, you would normally activate about 35 to 40% of your muscle fibers in about 1 to 3 muscle groups that are being targeted in any movement. And with EMS training, we can demonstrate that we can activate 90 to 95% of your muscle fibers in all major muscle groups at the same time. And that is why our 20-minute EMS training is more than enough. It is equivalent to 90 minutes of resistance training in the gym at least. And for the client, it is the training time that they appreciate as the biggest difference to conventional training. For me, it's the exciting thing is that we can achieve massive muscle activation without putting any pressure on any joint. So we use our technology in hospitals, aged care facilities, right through to professional athletes all over the world. It's great for people with restricted movement, lower back pain, pelvic floor issues, or simply time-poor mums and dads. The applications are mind-blowing. Now, today I'd like to tell you about a couple of business models that we have, our standalone EMS boutique and the shop-in-shop EMS training that's found in gyms and yoga studios around the world. Our boutique studio fits nicely into 60 to 80 square meters of shop space, and Australian studios are charging anywhere between $50 to $90 per session and generally delivering sessions to 2 to 3 people at once. It offers a great return on investment for studios, and it offers them a point of difference from their competitors. Our other model is our shop-in-shop model, which is popular in clubs and yoga studios because it generates a fantastic extra revenue stream. It attracts, engages, and retains clients because it delivers huge results fast. So if you've got some downtime in your studio or some space that could be better utilized, perhaps EMS could be a great solution for your business. Just want to explain clearly that Xbody is not a franchise. We are a technology company that will provide you with the support necessary for you to succeed. We have an EMS trainer course registered with Fitness Australia. We have a dedicated marketing team and service center right here in the country, and we will train your staff and provide you with the marketing assets, operational support to start small, grow safely, and succeed in scaling your business. Now, I know consumers are demanding convenience, accessibility, and time effectiveness, and they're exploring boutique studios and unique offerings closer to home. Xbody's seen a huge increase in demand for EMS studios in suburban areas, and you'll see many studios popping up over the next couple of years. It's an amazing business opportunity that's about to take off here, and I encourage anyone who's interested to get in contact. You need to try EMS to get a true idea of its many applications and how it could work for your business. If you're interested, go to xbodyaustralia.com.au and get in touch. I just wanted to also give a quick shout out to Glenn from Fitness on Demand. I'm also a club owner. We've installed that platform and it's working tremendously for our club. So I'm also keen to hear what he's got to say at the end of this session. Cheers, JT.
Thanks, Matt. I have had an EMS workout and I can vouch for the intensity of that workout. Now, onto our panel today. Our panel is made up of industry veterans. I know when you look at them, you won't think they're veterans. They're probably aged a little bit because of the amount of extra work they've done over the last 18 months in their respective businesses. They are superb business people, outstanding entrepreneurs, and now whizzes at virtual, whatever virtual is in their business. And that's what we're going to find out today. They have worked, I'm going to be honest, the 3 panelists here have worked their butts off just to keep engaged with their customers, just to keep being able to make money, still be able to bill, still be able to have a business after lockdown. And they've been able to do that with virtual. So I'm really excited today to pose some questions to our panel around what their business looks like. And we're going to dive as deep as we can over the time into how their business has gone, as well as the technology that they use to do virtual. So let me kick it off with Matt Fletcher from GoPT. Matt, give everyone a picture of what your business is almost pre-2020 and then post-2020.
Cool. Thanks, JT. Thanks for the welcome. Look, my business is 9 years old. Pre-2020, we were an outdoor group personal training organisation that operated at a golf and country club with about hovering between 40 and 50 members. The lockdown 2020 kicked off and we had our first run at a virtual program. We learned a fair bit from it. We then got out of lockdown, got back to business as usual. We also do a corporate program which went completely online at the same time. So we got our head around the virtual offering. And then when this lockdown kicked in was 6 weeks after we opened our bricks and mortar gym, which is 300 square meters. Our membership base is up around 140 members. So we opened the doors, we had 6 weeks worth of spine tingling excitement, and then we got shut down with lockdown. And look, JT used the terminology engagement in his introduction, and that's exactly what we honed in on. We recognized that our business is based on relationships and we needed to maintain them. We couldn't do that with pre-recorded workouts. We needed to go live. So we did that, and we also added in a really essential component to what's made it successful for us, and that is individual coaching calls. And we're a group personal training organisation, but we recognised how valuable those conversations that coaches had with our members and athletes. So we made that part of our offering, and we made the individual coaching calls part of our offering. And that for us has been a success. It's what's kept our members engaged, kept us well and truly in a situation where we can open back up again. And I'm not gloating, but with no real financial concerns whatsoever. So we haven't had any government assistance. We haven't had any rental assistance. We've retained our membership base. Look, we've lost a few, but it certainly hasn't been anything that's caused us any grief. So we are completely online currently. We do 3 Zoom sessions each day. We do multiple, what we call coaching connecting calls, where the coaches make themselves available for our athletes to call us via Messenger we use, or Zoom, and we keep them engaged in our program.
Great summary. Thank you, Matt. Now let's go to Amanda Bracks, who many of you know in the industry around Australia for her energy and enthusiasm. But what you may not know, she was actually Matt Fletcher's boss many years ago.
About 20 years ago, Braxy, we're showing our age, mate.
Maybe even more.
So Amanda, how's your business gone, or what was your business like pre-COVID, pre-2020, and now over the last 18 months?
So initially we set up Soulful Fitness, Yoga and Pilates Studio to offer something different other than gyms. You know, we wanted people to be able to go somewhere else that, you know, that didn't have equipment and just had a very low tox, sort of low vibe energy. And the studio was set up in 2015, and we offer, you know, 9 styles of yoga, meditation, sound healing, Kundalini yoga, all sorts of somatics yoga, all sorts of very gentle healing sort of practices, as well as Pilates. We've got a Pilates reformer studio. We have a virtual spin studio, so we have my ride in the studio there, but and that was just so we didn't have a teacher yelling at the attendees, right? So it's a very holistic environment. We got up to, you know, quickly in the first year, we got up to a full amount of members, and then we were maintaining all the way through. So we were class-based, and the irony of the whole thing is in March or February last year, I rang a fitness supplier and said, can you film me 5 classes so that when members go away, they'll be able to do some of the classes away in the hotel rooms, or if they're sick or if they're injured. And I engaged a marketing company to do that ahead of the time. We obviously didn't film because I was paying them to film 5 classes. We've now got a full library. I got them to do something else, but I already was setting up some sort of virtual classes for our members so they wouldn't suspend their memberships when they were traveling on holidays. And then now we are just fully online. We have about 55% of our membership still online with us. It's been twiddling away as we've been closed. People just drop. We're handling all the inquiries like Matt is doing. We're connecting with everybody on a day-to-day basis. So we're not treating everybody as a mass group. We're treating everybody individually. So if someone wants to go on suspension for 2 weeks, that's fine. Then what we're finding is they're lifting and joining online, and people are dropping in and out of their membership into online. We're there full time. We're in the studio. We're taking calls. We're listening to people. They need motivating. They don't know how to get into this. They need advice on what classes to do online. When we locked down, we went straight outdoors, and we're running 30 classes outdoors, and that was awesome. That was keeping our business together. But then everything shut down outdoors as well. So we are just a full online studio at the moment until we open again very soon.
Great summary, Amanda. Love it. And what a great niche you work with. Now let's head to Victoria, and we've got Colette and Gaz and wee Jimmy there.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy is how old, Colette?
A couple of weeks, just 4 weeks old now today. So yes, very young. So he's going to speak on our behalf. I thought he might be the most comprehensive out of us all, given that we've been sleepless for a while.
Ask him anything you want.
Ask away. It's just a Q&A between you guys and Jimmy.
Tell us about the HIIT Factory pre-lockdown, and then obviously being in Victoria, you've almost been in lockdown now for 18 months, bar a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
No, and I don't mean that disrespectfully at all. Tell us about your business model.
Cool. I'll kind of kick things off, but Gaz and I will just share a lot today. So we are 8 years old. The HIIT Factory was born when my daughter Isla was born, because there wasn't a place at the time to bring for women to bring their kids along to work out. So just didn't find anywhere to go and train. So I decided to become a personal trainer and to set somewhere up. So it started off just me doing fitness classes in halls, in parks, worried about how I could even fill a hall of 10 people. And then very quickly there was 50, 60, 100 turning up for classes. So it became very popular. We focus on, as the name would suggest, high intensity interval training. However, we've branched out quite a lot since then, but it's fundamentally body weight interval training that is our key thing. That's our core, but we appreciate the importance of strength and even of yoga and Pilates, etc. in addition, but our core is body weight HIIT and always 30 minutes. So pre-COVID, we then sort of grew and became a franchise business. We've got 7 franchise locations in Victoria, so all shut down. Some of them just opened just prior to the actual first lockdown. But for us, we've, from March 22nd, 2020, this is the sleeplessness talking, that's why Gaz will probably do most of it. We went fully live stream, and we did it in a really cool way, in that we went out with a bigger and better offering than we ever had. We kept the brand everywhere. We were actually in America at the time when we knew that we were going to have to lock down. So we locked ourselves in our room in Hawaii, ordered lots of equipment, live stream equipment to get to our hotel. It's so fast over there, it comes in the same day. So we had all the cameras, the mics, everything for about 4 or 5 days until we could get back to Australia. We upskilled all of our franchisees about how to deliver, because it was a question of, do we deliver as the franchisor, or do the franchisees deliver? And that way it keeps their business alive. So that's the path that we went down. So we upskilled all of them, and they've been phenomenal. And definitely had a few bumps in the road. I'll let Gaz jump in here.
Yeah, I was going to just say it's kind of came full circle from Colette, founding the business as a kind of at-home HIIT, do your workouts at home with minimal equipment, to where we are now, day 200 and whatever it is of lockdown, and we are still doing those workouts in people's living rooms, live in people's living rooms. But Colette makes a great point that we were ready for it, as ready as we could be. We were overseas at the time, March 2020. We scrambled to get home early, just before the borders closed. And yeah,
we made about 2 days. I think we were the first quarantines in Australia at the time. So we set up the room that we're in now. It didn't look quite as swish as this, but we got whatever branding we could do. I'm quite artistic, so I wrote the logo, did all of that. We launched on the Monday of every single location with the biggest timetables that you've ever seen in the HIIT Factory. So each studio had between 25 to 40 classes running each week.
So the lockdown started March, I believe, March 23rd. And that was when we went live stream,
live in the living room.
Full timetable. So nothing kind of changed session-wise from that lockdown day one. And now we're at lockdown 57, I think it is.
At least, yeah.
So, it's fascinating. You've all got slightly different models, and you've all emphasized how important it was to maintain your variety, your classes, and your engagement. Gaz, I'll ask you this question. When you're in Hawaii and you're going, all right, well, we're going to do this as a virtual system, perhaps what you bought then isn't what you're using now, but can you tell us about the equipment that you use, like just a real equipment synopsis in order to deliver your virtual product?
Good question, because I'll tell you about 2 things. In Hawaii, when we were there in the US, we believed the best option would have been something called Mevo, which was everything we read online and the research we did in the US was saying this is the best product to do live stream workouts.
For large audiences.
For large audiences. And also we were looking at Vimeo as an option, as an outlet as well, to push things out. So the Mevo camera came delivered to our hotel in Hawaii. We practiced, we used it. It's crystal clear. It's an amazing video view and recording. But we got back to Australia, we're locked in, and come day one, we were toying with.
I'm just going to interject with
Yeah.
Mevo. We can't see
Yeah.
our clients.
Sorry,
So
yes.
that was mistake number one. So that's not the live interactive experience. But we thought we'll go with that and we'll just deliver the way that we deliver in classes.
So Mevo camera, Vimeo on at the same time, and we are delivering the class. We can't see anyone. Day one of lockdown, we did that. And unbeknown to us, our first workout,
100 people booked for the class.
we were at the end of it, and after 12 minutes, it cut off. So we were absolutely.
But we didn't know. So we
No.
were just like, hey.
They're like, yes, thinking everyone at home is like, yes, but there was no one there. So very quickly we made the change. We made the change to Zoom. We toyed with Skype, but we made the direct change to Zoom.
Day two was a lot better.
Day two was a lot better. And from that day and ever since, there's been a few little tweaks that we've done, and I'll come to some more hardware options, but we do everything through Zoom, through a webcam, through a microphone, and that has been our best at home delivery.
We actually also, we've never stopped live streaming at all. Even when things did open up in Victoria, we just continued because there was a hesitance for people to go back to classes. So I would suggest if you can do that, give them both options, especially the fact that things are going to open up. There's people who don't want to go back into traditional gyms. That's just the reality of it. So we kept it going, and we developed then a hybrid model so that we upskilled our coaches in the studio to be able to deliver effectively to both audiences. And it's quite technical, and Gaz can talk about that, but if you can do that, do that. And especially when you've got new mums like me who might have been up all night and miss a class at whatever time, or they decide, you know what, I'm booked for a studio, but I'm going to switch to live stream. So yeah, we've kept that going.
Okay, so the main technology you used has been Zoom. And
Correct.
what sort of microphone do you have? Because it's pretty clear.
This is a Yeti mic, Yeti Blue, this one's called. It's not hugely expensive.
About $180.
And being our saviour is awesome. At home and actually in the studio, we also work off a Mac. There's one other piece of software that we use at home, which is called Loopback Audio. In the studio, we use a mixer, but at home, Loopback Audio. And Loopback Audio will help with the microphone audio, and it will help with the music audio for the user at home, because our workouts are really heavy on voice control.
Hence why Gaz has completely lost his voice.
Yeah.
He's hanging on by a thread, because I've not been coaching for a little while, and we're very rare. So at home, when you deliver with using computer sound as an instructor, you don't really hear much of the music, so you can actually miss some of what's going on music wise. But in the class format, if it's hybrid, you're going to coach to both, you're going to have both happening, so it's a little bit different technology wise.
True.
Okay, good tips. Amanda, I'm sure because I know you well, I'm sure you've made a few mistakes with your technology at different times. And you've probably got it absolutely nailed now. So what technology did you go through? What's your journey?
Can I screen share?
You sure can.
All right. So can you see that?
Yep.
See?
All right. So I'm actually using the camera that I stream through, which is a gaming camera. Yeah, I'm a gaming tech head. I have a backpack full of kit, so I am the biggest technology nerd going around, and I love the title I've given to myself. So I use the Razer Keo streaming, or it's a gaming mic, a gaming camera. I got all gaming kit. So what happened last year is that I ran into JB Hi-Fi before we shut, and as you can imagine, there was nothing left. So I just quickly scraped up what I could get. And this is our live streaming camera, because we stream through YouTube Studio, which I absolutely love. So I agree with the HIIT studio that they should be interactive, but Pilates and yoga is definitely something, and meditation. You do not want to be interactive with people. So you need it to be quiet. You don't want someone's voice coming through. You don't want someone's bum in the air. And, you know, there's a lot of mental health issues going on with people these days, and they do gravitate towards yoga for this reason. So it's a very private practice. Just to give you some idea, we've streamed everything through YouTube, and why it's freaking brilliant is no cameras come up, and everything can be downloaded the next day. But last year, I used the 4K camera and recorded everything double. So I used a really poor quality gaming mic while we're doing the lives, and I rode microphoned and pre-recorded every single video. So I double videoed it. So we had a live streaming video, which the quality isn't great. Let's be honest, a pre-recorded class is always better quality. It's sharp. It doesn't rely on internet, doesn't rely on streaming. The quality is just schmick. So I did everything. I'm not doing that this year. This year I've found this device, because the problem with YouTube Studio is that you can only shoot it through a laptop, and that makes lapel mics very difficult. And I've been searching and reading blog articles, and no one knows anything about how to get the Rode lapel mic into a PC, other than, you know, the big thousands and thousands of dollar music mixers, and I didn't want to invest that. But I went into JB Hi-Fi this year, this lockdown, and I found this ATR device, which is the one on the right, the device with the little attachment, and that plugs the Rode mic in, and away we go. Now we've got live streaming with the lapel mic. It was $39. Can you believe it? I bought 3. And I've also been live streaming for Ku-ring-gai Council. We got a gig for 5 weeks in a row that we were live streaming through Facebook for the council yoga in the park, in a place of the Shire, the Ku-ring-gai Shire. And I was using that plug-in for my Samsung phone to go live through Facebook. That was the biggest find. $39 was my biggest find. Tripods, I've broken so many freaking tripods. They're much of a muchness, but the Rode mic lapel, again, this is probably my third lot. They're $400 a kit. We have 2 as a backup. The lights, yeah, I bought those big ones, the cheap ass ones that fall apart, and then we've got these great LED lights now. So the camera, the 4K camera, I just do that pre-recording. So you can see the YouTube is so clear. Let me just try and click that on. Let's see if I can click that through. So you can see it's crystal clear. There's a little bit of my lighting stand in the left-hand corner. But we can see how many people are on, and in the YouTube feed live, they can chat, but we can't see them, which is perfect for this private practice. I'm not for personal trainers, and when I talk to personal trainers, I always recommend something that's interactive, of course. But for this one, it's a private practice. So you can see on the left, it's alive, and on the right, that's actually watching back the recording. But YouTube records everything, so I don't have to record it. If I go live with YouTube, it'll be there 24 hours later, and I download it and then I re-upload it. So what that means is, so if I can go on, sorry, JT, taking it away a little bit, but this is the delivery. This is through someone's TV. It's just sharp. And how we do it is we've built a library. So we've got an on-demand library of nearly 400 classes, from anything to do with meditation, Tai Chi, Pilates. We've got some Pilates HIIT classes, some 30-minute express classes, bar, Pilates reformer without the reformer, all that sort of thing. And how they get into the library is they can go into our website and go down and click into a members area on the website, or they can go into their MindBody app, and we've linked the website there. So they can go through their app and just stream it, or they can just go onto their smart TV and stream it. So we've created 400 classes of on-demand, which is, again, for this market, it's far bigger than our live classes. We never really ran last year more than 16 live classes a week, even though we did 83, because I was pre-recording them because it was a better quality, and adding and just building this library. And like the HIIT guys, we haven't necessarily done live classes all the way through our opens and lockdowns. Only live classes were only through lockdowns, but the members had access to this library all the way through. So every time anyone even got sick, or sometimes they were quarantined because they went to a venue that they were casual contact. They didn't suspend their membership. They just used their library at home for 2 weeks. And then we've got another platform we stream through, which is the Facebook group, and is a community group of active members. And we do meditation live there 3 times a week. And then members post photos of themselves, as you can see on the right, doing their classes in there, post comments. All the teachers are in there so they can be interactive. And on the left, you can see that's how they book their live classes. Now, I know I cut the live classes right back because we don't really need to be investing all that time with live classes. You know, you sit there and you get a handful of people in the class because they prefer to use the library anyway, and we just keep adding and adding and adding to that. And then we do seminars. So on Zoom, we run seminars each week. So we've had a energy healing, energy clearing, chiropractor about setting up your home office, your posture, and reducing stress. I've had neuroscientist and a chiropractor talking about the nervous system with stress, and then a nutritionist on how to do cleansing and detoxing. Now, the problem with doing this YouTube videos is that I've recorded 400 hours of video myself because Google doesn't allow you to log in from different links like Zoom does. You have to have really one person, one computer doing all the programming and all the shooting. So this week, I've actually taken the week off, and we're doing workshop week, where all the teachers are actually Zooming and doing workshop week. So breaking down, they're doing back bend workshop or side bend workshop or forward fold workshop, or there's some Pilates core activation workshops. So we actually are doing Zoom for the first time this week, and our numbers have halved of what they normally are because our members do not want to be on the camera. It's a very private group. It's a private practice. We have a lot of executives in the yoga world, that come in for mindfulness, and they don't want everybody to see them. So it's very interesting, but I have taken advantage of the Zoom, and we've done workshop week, which would make sense. Why would we do that platform? But we're back to YouTube next week. So I'll change that over now.
So Matt, tell us about your technology and what you're using.
Much like me, I've kept it pretty simple. I went out last year after doing a little bit of research in relation to cameras and setups, and thought about the pre-recorded side of things, and that got me to get a Canon EOS M50, which is a pretty good quality mirrorless camera. I wanted a good camera to be able to take good imagery for our business anyway, and then it just happened to fit in with lockdown. I also use the Rode wireless microphone, which I use more these days with my Samsung phone. Bracks, you've just made my day, and I know JT is going to just fall off his chair when he knows 2 of his panelists are Samsungs. But I use that SC7 patch cable, which connects my phone to my wireless camera, and I find that really effective if I'm doing live stuff in Facebook. That's a really useful little tool to get better quality. And if I'm moving around doing instructional type videos in the gym, I can move well away from the camera and the audio is still of top quality. So I find that really effective. I didn't do what Bracks did. I'm just going to go like that and show you the corner of my office. And I've got a Manfrotto tripod and 2 LED Godox LED lights, which we only use for our pre-recorded instructional videos, which we're creating a library for, which we put into our Facebook group, which is our main platform for communication with our members. We do our live sessions on Zoom. We don't link any audio up to that. It's very raw, but it works perfectly. We're very much about wanting to see our members and being able to give them direct feedback as to how they're moving. We're averaging 15 to 20 people per session on our Zoom sessions, still to this day, 3 months into lockdown. And for us, that's one of our KPIs, is that engagement of people still turning up to sessions. And that's really important. We do that as a KPI because that tells us how effective the program is working. Like when we saw a drop off, we instigated a program which was a lockdown challenge to bring about greater engagement, where they had a checklist of things to try and do on a daily basis and weekly basis. And one of those checklists to be able to take part in the challenge was 5 live sessions each week. So they check into Gym Master, which is our software. We can check their attendance. But for us to see them in Zoom, to be able to visualize what they're doing, give them direct feedback, so important. The concept of us doing a pre-recorded workout didn't sit well with our coaching methodology and our ability to deliver the program like we like to deliver it. Other than that, I have a Joby tripod, which I find really versatile and useful just for around the gym, doing little bits of video as well. But we've kept ours pretty raw when it comes to the daily work that we do. The coaches check in with their Zoom accounts from home more often than not. We do a few sessions live here in the gym, and our aim is not to keep this as a long-term part of our business. We want to know that if lockdown happens again, we can switch that, we can flick that switch instantly to our online offering and keep our members engaged. And that's what we've been able to do with that technology.
Thanks, Matty. So the monetization for you of the virtual product is really about your clients continuing to pay the same amount of money, and you've just flipped from face to face to doing exactly the same thing, more or less, but on Zoom.
Very much so. And I've spoken to lots of other business owners that reduced their prices when they went online. And I said, no way. I said, we're going to add more value. We're going to add more value to our members' experience. And we recognize that the workout component of what people do is a small part of the big picture. Our program and our methodology is based a lot more around what they've got to do from home than what they do in the gym. So we really dug into that component. So we do, similar to Bracks, we do a live daily meditation. We hone in very much on sleep and nutrition. We hone in very much on connection with people, and they're all things that get done away from the gym. So our program offering, I feel like we added value. Like, it made me feel like when we come out of lockdown, I'm going to increase our prices. This might be something that you might think not a great time to do it, but within the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to have 2 membership tiers, because I really feel now that we've become crystal clear on that program offering that differentiates us from other businesses. And we can say, this is why we charge more, because the program that we have for you offers so much more. And we've proven that in lockdown, that we can still get sensational results for members, because they're taking action away from the gym. They're not just rocking up to a workout once a day, then going home and letting go of everything else they've got control over. They're truly honing in on what they can control. And that's because this program that we do online has got them to take ownership of that.
I love the fact that you've used the word added value to memberships, and that you haven't reduced your fees, you've maintained them, and even looking at increasing them. Amanda, the monetization for Soulful Fitness, similar to Matt's, because you were able to roll out these classes, you didn't have to put people on suspension or cancel. They could just keep paying. And instead of doing it in your beautiful studios, they were doing it in their beautiful lounge rooms.
Yeah, so we have this, we just kept them on the same membership. I think the biggest mistake everybody ever makes in this whole thing is doing classes for free. I mean, you know, I know clubs that go backwards. I've got clubs ringing me asking for help, and they're charging nothing, and their business, they can't pay rent. It's the biggest mistake, you know. People don't value it. People won't attend. So we've been running. So the first day of lockdown, obviously, the next day, I just called my manager in that afternoon on the Saturday. We sat there, worked out what we're going to do, put an email together and banged it out. And I think the timing is really important. You've got to be super quick. In saying that, when it comes to opening, I think you need to be super slow. I think you need to wait, really understand what the parameters are of opening. I've seen some businesses already sending out emails to their clients with Sydney. You don't even know what the parameters are. But in lockdown, you've got to be super quick. Opening, you can be a little slower. So we emailed straight out saying you've got 3 choices. 1, stay on your existing membership, support us, and you've got the online program. And at the time, it was 28 outdoor classes. 2, you can drop down to an online-only membership, and that was $30 a week. But you don't get the live classes. See, people still want. So to get everything, you have the full membership. To get something reduced, you need to lose something, which you lost the outdoor and the lives. You just had the library, and then people had the option of suspension as well, but they pay. And yeah, like I said, like it's been 13 weeks and we're down to 55, but it took a while for us to get any government grant like you, Matt. It's hard, but my landlord's given me 1 month of 25% off, because I asked that last time. When you get a rent reduction, you need to make sure you're crystal clear that it's a waiver and that you don't have to pay it back. So very important that you speak to landlords and ask for waivers, and just make sure anything that you're getting in rent reduction at the moment, you have that in writing that it's a waiver. Otherwise, you need to pay it back. Yeah, so we've been we've earned between 15 and it's just dropped down to about 14 now, but we've been earning between $14,000 and $18,000 a week through lockdown, and it's not enough. It's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy because for us, opening is the problem. So every bit of cash now is getting saved and saved and saved, because when we open, you got cash flow issues, and this is what happened last year. We saved every single dollar for opening because all the members come back well, they don't all come back. Some of them will stay suspended until the end of the year, and they expect the full timetable. They expect all the staff to be here, and that's what cash is like. There is two types of animals. One is lockdown, and then you need to be able to open the business and run for 6 months with cash flow. So that is my focus for everything.
Thanks, Amanda. And Colette and Gaz, we're going for the trifecta here. And this was with no set agenda for anybody who's watching, but you guys obviously had a full timetable. I'm guessing you didn't drop your prices or change any prices. You just continued to bill.
Definitely, like it was a decision that we made over in Hawaii when we were gearing up for it with our franchisees as well. And we said, you know what, why should we undervalue? Like, we're going to go out there with bigger, with better. The way that we run our classes, please come and attend, check out HIIT Factory class. You'll see the energy, probably export even more energy delivering live stream, because we're seeing sometimes 50, 100 people across multiple screens at the same time. It's wild, it's crazy. If we hadn't have done that, if we'd halved our prices and went with a live stream membership, we probably wouldn't be in business right now. Not just us as the HIIT Factory HQ and you know, the founders of the business, but our franchisees wouldn't be there either. So we kept all of our memberships the same. We always have. We do offer some free classes, but that's supplementary stuff that we'll give to members. And that might be like a yoga nidra for sleep, or meditation, Pilates, dance class, something that's not part of our core, like you say, that the mental health side of things. So we do the odd pop up of that. But yeah, we just felt we had to keep it the same. We're not an over the top priced business. Like our top membership is $169 per month. So we're not our competitors, I suppose, would be more like that $260 per month. So we're quite well priced. And what it's meant with live stream is that the husbands can join in at home, the kids can join in at home. So they've got this one membership, but the whole family, we've got sometimes like 4 of them on, and we absolutely love it. We love it. We'll see them all, and we'll shout out all the kids, and so it's given them more value, and it's maintained our revenues.
As well as the full timetable and even more sessions that were added. We had an online hub before COVID happened, and on that was food related, there was recipes, there was audio, but obviously during the pandemic we built a full on-demand platform.
We've got hundreds
and that's that's what members also have access to. So we are giving more than we ever have, which is the full timetable live, and also wherever they can, whenever they want to do it on demand.
Sorry, Gaz, where are those online sessions saved? When you say that it's on the hub, what platform are you using to save all of those workouts?
On our website, on our back end members.
Right, so it's built into your website. And
yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Got it.
We built it in 2019, so I don't know why we had the foresight, but I've been doing like food related stuff for a long time, and I also own an app called PT in my pocket. So we put some of those workouts on there so people could press play and do workouts like you're saying when you're on holiday, etc., etc. So we built this hub already, but now it's the place that has our on-demand platform. But we don't give away all of our workouts on there. The main reason, like I think we've probably got thousands pre-recorded, but we only make about 30 available each month, because we really want to try and let people book in live, so we can actually see them live and in person, live in their living room, in their garden, every single day, as often as possible, or the membership allows. So we keep it as a rolling thing, so it's not too overwhelming, and it's always updating as well.
And moving forward, will you guys continue to offer virtual as well as face-to-face classes, as well as on demand?
Yes, well, we have done since for 18 months now. So definitely, and each new franchisee that comes on board, like we sort of paused bringing on anyone until we got to, well, we're still sort of paused it a little bit until we have a bit more knowledge about when things will reopen in Victoria. But we will upskill each franchisee, and I have to say again, they have been fantastic at being able to do that dual delivery thing. So yes, we'll keep it.
Just one thing that I wanted to add, because I'm not sure if we made it clear that when we have opened up, we do the dual delivery. So every studio session is live at home at the same time, and that will continue. So when we open back up, timetable, it was the same session in the studio as it is at home, and that will remain.
And I think you've got to be very careful about how you do that. So the way we've set it up across all the studios, we built these kind of quite high tech, like TVs that are sunk into the ground. So no one that's in the studio can see anyone that's training at home, and no one at home can see anyone that's training in the studio. So the only person that will see you all is the instructor. And I think that's quite important. So there's a privacy side of things as well. And if someone doesn't want to be seen, they just turn video off. We would much prefer it to be on, but we also get that there's mental health issues, there's body issues, there's all sorts going on at the moment. There's messy houses. If they don't have the video on, we don't give them a hard time. We just encourage them to do it.
Well, we are judging people's living rooms when they're training all the time, and we've told them that. But
Matt, you're not going to continue with a virtual offering when we can reopen, are you?
No, as quick as I was to flick the switch on, I'll be as quick to flick it off. Look, the nature of our training is we want people back inside here. We want to have them lifting barbells and doing pull-ups and on machines like bikes and rowers and have that connection again. But I feel really comfortable that if, so one of the concerns that I've got is, we have a COVID positive case come in here and they shut us down for 2 weeks. Well, I know that we've got that ability now to flick that switch and go, athletes, we're back online again. And then as soon as we can get them back in here, we'll get back. And I know, my own personal preference is to have people in here. I know that my coaching team are the same. So no, we don't plan to continue an online offering.
Amanda, what about you moving forward?
Well, we've got this library we've been using for the last 12 months. So we've already tested that, and 100% it's part of our business. So our website's also, I've also built a plug-in to our website as well. And so it takes me about maybe a minute or 3 minutes a day. So we've got a book, it's manual, it's tedious, but you know what? It's worth every cent. So every day someone suspends a membership, they say Mary Smith off on the date, Mary Smith on in 2 weeks' time. And I just open the book and I just plug in and I just do the coding. I haven't taught the girls to do it at the studio just because it's in the back end of the website. I'm not really sure I want everybody going in there. I will teach them. I'm not a control freak. Matt, shut up. Hope you're on mute. But I do really feel like they can do it. I just got to have a really savvy admin person because I don't want them messing that up. But so we've already had this since July last year. We've tested a whole year of having a library as well as the in-class studio and in-studio. And during this time, I agree with Matt for his business 100%. If I was paying for personal training, I wanted coaching. I want that human interaction with our members. Again, they're high risk. I've got a lot of members that are going through cancer treatment, that are stem cell transplant just the other day. They've got MS, or they've got high autoimmune disease. We're in a really unusual position where we've got a lot of that. So some people will stay home. If there's a case in our town, we'll get a third of our members stay home because there are members, not the gym, but just our members are very high risk. So our platform is so essential to our business, and it's there. They love it. The better thing is this, the other two bonuses that came out of virtual training is, one, you got members that have been there for 6 years, trying teachers that have been there for 6 years and going, who's Hayley or who's Mickey? I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like, I've never tried a class, but I tried an online class and she's amazing. So they get more, like the HIIT Factory was saying, you guys, they get more for their money. They get different teachers. The other bonus is if we don't run 4 o'clock Friday afternoon classes, they might feel like a class at Friday afternoon, bang, on demand. They get their class of their choice, their teacher of their choice, and they've got this luxury of going, you know what, there's the studio's closed on 4 o'clock on a Friday, but I'm going to do whatever I want at home. Home's not an ideal place. Like we always say, our motto is online is the second best option. Face-to-face is the first one.
Yeah. Amanda, I got a question basically for you, but from the premise of your business, but both Matt and the HIIT Factory said that one of the virtual classes that were popular were like meditation, mind-body classes. What's the thinking behind that? Like, do you think, like if you're running a club and you're going back to like bricks and mortar, but you did have this virtual, like for me, I'm kind of thinking that meditation class might be a good, of all of them, that might be the one that you'd keep going.
Or even like Matt could do like, you know, Sunday afternoon slow stretch. Like it doesn't have to even be meditation. It could just be like a connection where everybody, I think stretching classes are going to be massive because the gym people that don't want to meditate or the non-meditators, they just want to go get into a slow stretch with their trainer. And I think they could do the meditation route without doing meditation. I think that like slow stretch, or we've got like Soulful Sundays because we're Soulful Fitness. Sunday afternoon we do yin yoga, which is essentially a fascia releasing Chinese medicine meridian flow yoga class. Sorry for the yogis out there, they'll be horrified I said this, but I'm just giving very general summary with meditation. So you could do a Sunday stretch class, but you're just slowing them down. Really, at the end of the day, there's plenty of ways to slow someone down. I speed people up, but there's plenty of ways to slow people down, not just in meditation, you know, breath work, the Pilates, the stretching, and you could have Soulful Sundays and you could just throw something like that in there. It could be Facebook group. I'm big on the YouTube studio. I am like the king of it. I love it. It's crystal clear. They record everything. There's no faces, but for that sort of group connection, we do a lot of meditations through Facebook group because there's nothing better on a Sunday morning. Sunday's my only day off. I've been working 6 days a week, streaming everything myself, doing all the editing, everything like that. And I have Sundays off. And the first thing I do at 7:30, my meditation goes off in my phone. Catherine, my teacher's doing it. And I sit there with a cup of tea or whatever. And it's my favorite thing to do on a Sunday. I do it myself. I need it.
Maddie?
When meditation has been a big part, JT, you know me better than anyone else here. It's been a part of my journey for many years now. And I just know from a program perspective, if we're not teaching people how to manage their minds well and how to breathe and connect properly to their breath, we are leaving a huge part of what we should be doing as fitness professionals on the table. And I know that we include it in our face-to-face programming because if we can talk about it all day long, but unless we're actually going to get our people to practice it and make it part of who they are and their identity, they're not going to do it. Like you Google what successful people do and they meditate. So why should we not all be including it in our programming? So look, we do our meditation in our Facebook group because we don't need to see you. We talk about how to practice the process. So we do it live. We don't need to see you like you work out. I don't need to see how you're doing a single leg deadlift. You know, I want to see you do that. I don't need to see you meditate. And when our program comes back face to face, we will continue as we did before lockdown to incorporate breath work and meditation. We call it mental muscle work. We will continue to incorporate that into our program because for me, it's a critical part of what people can control.
So it's a pretty crazy world that we live in, and we're hoping that it'll be less crazy in 2022, but we could still continue to be in and out of lockdowns. I know when we were talking earlier today, Matt George, he came out of lockdown just a few hours ago, and his fingers crossed that he doesn't go back in. We're going to hear from Glenn from Fitness on Demand shortly, and Glenn doesn't even know what lockdown is, being in Queensland. So it's a crazy world. We've already talked about the virtual side, and some of you aren't going to continue it, or Matt's not going to continue it. Amanda and Colette and Gaz are, and there are people watching today that will probably be thinking, yeah, I think I will continue. If you had to go out there right now and you were going to start this virtual model in your business, what are your 3 key bits of technology that you think everybody should have? Amanda, let's go with you. What are your top 3 bits? I'm going to guess YouTube Studio is one of them.
You know why though? Because it's so convenient. You've already know the benefits of that. I've thought about this actually. So a good quality recording, like a good, like obviously the microphone is probably the most important thing. A good web developer, like you really need to be looking to build it into the back end of unless you're going to go buy and outsource the online program. I think, you've got to go one or the other. You've got to be really committed to putting in all the hours and time, or you've got to outsource it and find a really solid program like these guys have here today. And also you need to embrace technology. You need to YouTube, because you need to learn how to do everything. You need to learn how to teach yourself how to do everything. So you need to keep learning. And I know that everyone's busy, time poor, whatever, but if you're not committed, you need to outsource. That's just the way to go.
I like the outsourcing. Gaz, what are your 3 bits of tech that you think people have got to get?
So definitely the crispness of the camera, number 1, the sound, the music. Also for us, like we've developed all of our own workout formats. So we're now up at like 15 different formats and hundreds of different tracks, so music formats, voice cues, etc. But we've also been using, it's not like a plug, because I know that MyZone's obviously one of the sponsors at the Fitness Business Podcast, but we found MyZone to be really cool through lockdowns, because it's meant with all those new clients that have joined us from areas like all around Australia or even overseas. We've got clients in Ireland, Scotland, America, all over the place. It's meant that I can see their workouts, and I'm a bit of a hound. Like I'll get on there, and I'm not to say, oh hey, that wasn't enough, just to congratulate each day. So I've got hundreds of connections on there, so sometimes I'll be through there each day just checking in, but mostly to see how effective our different sections are. Like, what does the strength session do for them? How many reps are they hitting there? And which HIIT sessions are hitting the red zones? Obviously, they don't need to use it for yoga or anything like that. But I think MyZone has been a brilliant way to connect with new people and existing members to just get in there outside of your Facebook private groups and things like that.
Yep, sound, vision, wearable technology.
Brand as well. You see so many of these workouts where the brand visibility by some of the biggest gyms out there in the world, and it's just a shambles. And we are so probably a little bit pedantic about it. And we make sure that our franchisees and all coaches, it's got to be branded up.
I don't think that logo's big enough, actually. We'll make it bigger for the next one.
It's an interesting point that you make, Colette, about the branding. And when you saw Amanda's videos earlier, I was like, brand looks beautiful and it matches Soulful Fitness. You guys match yours. But like I was watching one today from a club here in Australia, and, the person was in their sunroom and the rawness was cool, but I'm like, it's not really, it kind of cheapened it a little bit for me. So I think you got to be careful. It's got to be a good mix, but I like all your tech things there. Matt, what about tech for you? What are your 3 big ones?
Jackson, I'm going to be the rebel in the group. I'm only going to give you 2, and only one of them is going to be tech related. And I'm going to target this more towards any sort of sole trader, people potentially starting out that might not have the capital to go in all in on web designers potentially and tech. From a tech point of view, it's that little cable and a Rode wireless Go microphone setup that you can match up with your Samsung 21S Ultra camera, which has got phenomenal capabilities. That's the tech side of things. The other thing for me that...
Sorry, Matt, does that microphone work with an Apple phone? Do you know?
No idea, not interested.
Okay.
The other thing for me is get really clear on what your offering is and understand that from an offering perspective, that's what's going to retain your clients. It's what's going to add value to your membership base, and it's what's going to keep your members with you for a long time. I've seen it over and over again. People get clients in, the clients don't stick around, and there's that constant wheel. But we want our members to be with us for years and years and years. And for me, your success, whether it be online or whether it be face-to-face, is having a program offering and an ability to one, get results, but 2, truly connect to your members and your athletes and have them want to work for you insofar as want to put in effort in sessions, want to make changes away from your workout. And that comes back to how do you lead your program. So for me, it's get crystal clear on your offering. And I'm happy to talk to anyone new in the space that's not sure what I'm talking about, I'm sure JT will share our details and reach out. I love the concept of helping other people in the industry. I'm not a business coach. I never want to be a business coach. But I would love to think that, you know, and this is separate, but I don't think that some of the courses, insofar as getting trainers qualified, cover this. And it's a big gap in the industry. And if I can bridge that gap in some way, I'd be happy to do that.
JT, can I just add something which we just haven't covered? And I know that you did want to ask it, and I know we're up for time, but I think all three of us, one topic that's really, really important is actually the communication to current people that's coming on board, but also to the people that are on suspension and on hold as well. Like the communication to every one of our clients is really important. And I think that constant communication. So whilst we've got the online program, it's the communication that really holds everything together. So I just think, you know, like I just show you something really quickly, and I know we're wrapped for time. Don't worry, I know I could go on forever. And I wasn't going to show you this, but this is our level of communication that we've done thus far since 26th of June lockdown. And the communication, and Matt's a little bit different because he's got one-on-one clients, but still his would be off the charts like this. So the communication to all members, so we've got like emails, do we send them to suspended members, declined members, and active paying members? Every single person needs some lot of communication. And the HIIT Studio guys were saying before about doing some free classes. Every now and again, we will send a link to maybe a free meditation or something, maybe it's one of the seminars, to the suspended members. We need to just make sure that communication is off its chops. And with Mind Body, we just have the luxury to send push notifications to anyone that has the app. So we're constantly emailing. Every week we email a newsletter like this, and it's got like, I do a blog about something about being connected, about, you know, today I did one on the simple life. The other day it was about just doing you, because everybody didn't know what they should be doing or thinking. Then we put a few little tidbits to tie the community back together. We put it into the little quotes from the community that have given to us via email or via the Facebook group. We throw that back to the members for social proof and constant contact that they're doing the right thing. And then we always add a few of the pictures that the members have sent us doing the actual classes at home. And then we had a transformation challenge. So I think like challenges, well, actually, we didn't call it a challenge. We just called it a transformation because people are challenged enough at the moment. I think little competitions and connections. We're going to do a step one in October, like an odometer one, because everybody has a tracker on their phone or their wristwatch. I think we're going to do that from next week onwards. A recipe or workshops. And then we send what the live class timetable is ahead of time. And then we send the links to those live classes 20 minutes before, so they book in on their app and we'll send them out. But I can't stress how, I think Matt touched on it, but I can't stress how important communication is as part of this backup of this online program.
100% agree, and that's kind of my full-time job at the HIIT Factory is social media, marketing, creating the workouts, etc. Hence why it's like a 24/7 job, and even having a little tiny baby, you still got to do that straight away the very same day. We were very, very big on social media. We use MailChimp for doing our email communications, and then we'll do the push notifications through MindBody as well. But we try and keep it fun, keep it real, keep it vibrant. We ditch the negativity, but then there's sometimes when you have to just be a bit of a realist as well and say, hey, we know you're all doing it a little bit tough, but really it's just about trying to be, and like when you get Gaz in action, when he's got his voice normal, our classes are pretty funny as well as being hard hit sessions. We take the hardness out with humor. So we try and be quite funny on socials as well. But I agree, communication is basically my 24/7 job.
Panelists, it's been amazing having you guys come on today, and thank you for being so open and so sharing around your businesses and tips for people around launching this virtual, especially the technology side. We also obviously ventured into a little bit of the business side as well. So I'm really grateful for your time. Thank you so much. Very, very amazing. And I'm sure we'll get superb feedback. Now, we're also blessed to have with us today Glenn Taylor from Fitness on Demand. Fitness on Demand are one of our bronze sponsors, first year being involved with the Tech Summit, and it makes great synergy for us to have Glenn on today to talk about fitness on demand when we've been talking about live and on-demand classes. Glenn, welcome. First off, thanks for being a partner on the Tech Summit. Tell me, what is new with fitness on demand?
Well, for those of you who do know me, you know the technology is not my specialty. So it does feel quite funny being part of a technology panel and being a provider of a technology product. Fitness on Demand has a history of about 13 years of creating fitness on demand for customers. So it's not new to the space. And as I think all of us have found in the last 18 months, technology has evolved and continues to evolve at a rapid rate. So for those of you who may know or have known fitness on demand from the past, the product is an evolved product as technology has evolved. Traditionally, it was an in-club solution, and coincidentally in March last year, Fitness on Demand released a product called Flex, which was our on-the-go product. Conveniently, obviously, time for some of the things that have been occurring in the world. But I think what has evolved, as all of our panelists have shown today, each business operates or has the ability to operate and function in a different way, manner, or fashion. Obviously, some people have the ability to invest a lot of time into it, and others want an off-the-shelf type solution or an integrated solution that allows for the integration of programming that other people have done, combined with their live instructors that are operating and doing their own classes and functions. So for us, that is our Flex product. It's a turnkey solution for clubs to offer to their members, offering premium fitness content and seamless programming wherever they are. Access is controlled by the club, and it's conveniently run through one platform. To implement Flex, whether you have fitness on demand as a virtual fitness on site at your club or not, you can simply access and run all the programming through one place, and that now includes live streaming. But if people want to know more about fitness on demand and to understand exactly how the platform works and how it can be an integral part of your business, please make sure you get in contact. Our website's fadvirtual.com, or please feel free to reach out to me. JT can give out my personal details afterwards. Thanks for having us a part of it, and thanks to the panel for implementing and showing some of the different ways in which technology is obviously going to continue to grow our businesses.
Thank you, Glenn, and thank you to Fitness on Demand for your support. Again, a huge thank you to Matt from Xbody, Amanda, Colette, Matt Fletcher from GoPT. Great having everybody on board today. Thanks also to Glenn for coming on board. In 2 weeks, we have our next webinar, and it is also another panel. We've got Darren and Brett, who will be discussing how to digitize on-site and monetize off-site. So this webinar is guaranteed to lead to more income from you using technology. Now, that webinar is Thursday, the 7th of October at 3:30 p.m. I put the link in the chat box, but you just go to fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au and you can register for that free webinar. As I said, if you would like access to any of the replays of all of the webinars that you can either share with your team or rewatch yourselves, you can go to fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au to the Get Access button and use the code ACTIVE to save $100. So it's only $65. And I think it's about 15 webinars or close to 17 hours of education that you'll pick up. Again, a huge thank you to our partners, our sponsors, our supporters, and our speakers for being able to deliver this gift of education to the fitness industry. If you got any value out of today's presentations, please tell your colleagues, please reach out to our speakers today and thank them personally. And tell people that the 2021 Virtual Fitness and Recreation Industry Technology Summit is on, and it's free education to help you strengthen your business with technology. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, whether you're watching live or on replay. We'll see you at 3:30 on Thursday, the 7th of October. In the meantime, keep washing your hands, wear a mask, stay safe, and remember, stay physically distant, not socially distant. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.